The world feels different now. Uncertain, a shadow hangs over everything. Many people feel it. Something is changing, something big. Could this be the beginning of the end? For centuries, believers have whispered about the beast system, a terrifying picture painted in the book of Revelation, a world controlled by evil, a world where freedom is lost, a world where you must choose your allegiance. This beast system is not just a story, it is a warning about a powerful leader who will deceive nations, a warning about a time of great suffering, a warning about a mark that controls who can buy or sell. The world is watching, waiting. Is this the time when prophecy becomes reality? Look around you. Technology is everywhere. It's in your pocket. It's in your home. It's changing everything we do. Some people celebrate these changes. They embrace the convenience. But others see something darker. Imagine a world without cash. Everything you buy is tracked, your every purchase recorded. This is already happening in some places. Is this progress? Or is it control? Some believe this new technology could be used to create the mark of the beast, the mark that separates the followers from the condemned, the mark that grants access or denies it. Is this the future we are creating? We must be careful. We must ask questions. We must not trade our freedom for convenience. The price may be higher than we can imagine. The Bible speaks of a time of great tribulation, a time of war, famine, and persecution. Many believers see the chaos in the world today and feel a chill. Could these be the birth pangs of the end times? Natural disasters, political unrest, economic turmoil, the headlines scream of a world on the brink. For those who study prophecy, these events are more than coincidence. They are signs, warnings, a call to prepare. The faithful gather, they pray, they study the scriptures, they look for guidance in a world that seems to be spinning out of control. They know the beast system is coming, they can feel it drawing closer. The question is not if, but when, and the answer may be closer than we think. Not everyone sees the world through the same lens. Some scoff at the idea of a beast system. They see the changes around us as progress, natural steps in human evolution. Technology is making our lives easier, they argue. Global connections are bringing us closer together. We are solving problems, pushing boundaries, creating a better world. They see fear as the enemy, fear of change, fear of the unknown. They urge us to embrace the future, to trust in our ability to shape our own destiny. Who is right? Are we on the cusp of destruction or a new era of peace and prosperity? Only time will tell. The past is filled with cautionary tales, stories of empires that crumbled, of leaders who abused their power, of ideologies that led to darkness. We must not forget these lessons. From the Roman Empire to Nazi Germany, history is littered with examples of control and oppression, systems that sought to dominate, to crush dissent, to impose their will on the masses. These regimes used fear, propaganda, and violence to maintain their grip on power. They silenced opposition, manipulated information, and, turned neighbor against neighbor. We must be vigilant. We must learn from the mistakes of the past. We must never take our freedoms for granted, for they can be lost more easily than we think. Look no further than popular culture to see our fascination with dystopian futures. Books, movies, and video games, they paint these vivid pictures of worlds controlled by technology where freedom is just a distant memory. In these stories, we see the seductive nature of power, the corrupting influence of technology, and honestly, the resilience of the human spirit in the face of oppression. These fictional narratives serve as both entertainment and warning. They remind us of the dangers of unchecked power and the importance of fighting for our freedom. While fiction may exaggerate, it often reflects the anxieties and concerns of our time. It really holds a mirror up to society, forcing us to confront some uncomfortable truths about ourselves and the world we're creating. The debate rages on, echoing through city streets, online forums, and living rooms across the world. It's a conversation that refuses to die down, fueled by uncertainty, fear, and hope in equal measure. People gather in groups, sometimes shouting, sometimes whispering, but always questioning, what is really happening around us? Is the so-called beast system a genuine threat lurking in the shadows, or is it simply a product of our collective imagination, a story we tell ourselves to make sense of a rapidly changing world? The question hangs heavy in the air, unanswered and unsettling. The world is, divided. Lines are drawn not just between nations or communities, but within families and friendships. Some see danger everywhere, others see only progress. On one side stand the believers, those who pore over news reports, who see patterns in the chaos, who interpret every new law or technological leap as another step toward a darker future. They worry about surveillance, about control, about freedom slipping quietly away. For them, the signs are everywhere, and the warnings are urgent. On the other side are the skeptics. They roll their eyes at talk of conspiracies, confident in the resilience of human institutions and the steady march of progress. They see innovation as a force for good, dismissing fears as overblown or rooted in misunderstanding. For them, the world is not ending, it's evolving. The believers point to current events, to technological advancements that seem to blur the line between convenience and control. They highlight the rise of artificial intelligence, the spread of surveillance cameras, and the increasing digitization of daily life. They warn of the erosion of freedoms, of rights quietly rewritten, of a society where dissent is monitored, and privacy is a relic of the past. For them, every protest, every new regulation is a signpost on the road to something ominous. They see a world teetering on the edge of chaos, ripe for the rise of a charismatic leader who promises order amidst the turmoil. History, they argue, has shown us how easily fear can be harnessed, how quickly freedoms can vanish when people crave security. The skeptics counter with logic, with reason, with historical context. They remind us that every era has had its doomsayers, its prophets of disaster, and yet humanity has always found a way forward. They argue that these fears are nothing new, that panic and suspicion have accompanied every major leap in technology or social change. From the printing press to the internet, each innovation has sparked anxiety before becoming an accepted part of life. They point to humanity's resilience, to our ability to adapt, rebuild, and ultimately thrive in the face of adversity. For the skeptics, history is a story of progress, not decline. Who is right? Only time will tell, as the future unfolds before us. But one thing is certain: the debate itself, with all its passion and intensity, reveals the deep anxieties and uncertainties of our time. It's a mirror reflecting our hopes, our fears, and the questions we all share about what comes next. We live in a world of information overload. Every second, new headlines flash across our screens, notifications buzz in our pockets, and updates demand our attention. It feels like the world is shouting at us from every direction, each voice competing to be heard above the rest. News travels at the speed of light. Stories that once took days or weeks to reach us now appear in real time, shaping our perceptions before we even have a chance to process them. The cycle never stops, and the pressure to keep up can be overwhelming. Images and stories from every corner of the globe, they just flood our screens. From political upheavals to natural disasters, from viral trends to personal tragedies, everything is just a swipe away. The sheer volume of information can leave us feeling numb, disconnected, or even powerless. It can be, honestly, difficult to make sense of it all. We try to filter out the noise, but sometimes it feels like the noise is all there is. The more we search for clarity, the more elusive it seems to become. But amidst the noise, a narrative is unfolding. Beneath the surface chaos, patterns begin to emerge, patterns that hint at deeper changes taking place in our society. A narrative of increasing control, of encroaching surveillance, of a world where individual liberty is slowly being eroded. Cameras watch us from every corner, algorithms track our every move, and our private lives are no longer truly private. Governments are expanding their powers, often in the name of security. Laws are passed with little debate, and new technologies are introduced that promise safety but demand our trust, and our data, in return. Technology is being used to track our movements, monitor our communications, and shape our thoughts. Our digital footprints are mapped, analyzed, and sometimes even weaponized against us, all in the pursuit of order and control. The lines between public and private are blurring. What was once considered personal is now fair game for scrutiny, and the sense of being watched is becoming a part of everyday life. The boundaries of what is considered acceptable behavior are constantly shifting. Actions that were once normal are now questioned, and dissent is often met with suspicion or even punishment. Are these just isolated incidents, unrelated events in a complex world? Or is there a thread connecting them, a story that is bigger than any single headline? Or are they pieces of a larger puzzle, signs of a dark future unfolding before our very eyes? As we try to make sense of the chaos, we must ask ourselves, are we witnessing the natural evolution of society? Or are we being led step by step into a world where freedom is just an illusion? The signs are all around us, if only we have the courage to see them. The answer, my friends, lies within each of us. Deep down, we all possess the ability to shape our own destinies, to influence the world around us in ways both big and small. It starts with a single thought, a moment of reflection, a willingness to look honestly at ourselves and the choices we make each day. We cannot afford to be passive observers. The world is changing rapidly, and history is being written in real time. If we simply stand by and watch, we surrender our power to those who would decide our future for us. We must engage with the world around us. This means stepping out of our comfort zones, joining conversations, and participating in our communities. Every voice matters, and every action, no matter how small, can create a ripple effect. We must question, we must think critically, we must be willing to stand up for what we believe in. Study the scriptures, learn from history, seek out knowledge, and let it guide your decisions. The wisdom of the past can illuminate the path forward, helping us avoid old mistakes and build a better tomorrow. Pay attention to the signs of the times. The world often whispers warnings before it shouts them. Stay alert to what is happening around you, locally and globally. The headlines, the conversations, the subtle shifts in society, they all hold clues to what may come. Do not be afraid to ask difficult questions. Sometimes the most important truths are hidden beneath the surface, waiting for someone brave enough to seek them out. Challenge assumptions, and don't settle for easy answers. Do not be afraid to challenge the status quo. Progress is born from those who dare to imagine a different world, who refuse to accept injustice or complacency. Your courage can inspire others to find their own. The future is not predetermined. It is a blank page, waiting for us to write our story. Each day brings new opportunities to make a difference, to choose a path that leads to hope and possibility. It is not written in stone. Our actions, our choices, our willingness to adapt and grow, these are the tools with which we carve our destiny. The future is as flexible as we are willing to make it. We have a choice to make. Every crossroads presents us with possibilities, and it is up to us to decide which direction to take. Will we choose the familiar, or will we dare to forge a new path? We can choose apathy or action. We can sit on the sidelines, or we can roll up our sleeves and get involved. The world needs people who care enough to act, who are willing to make sacrifices for the greater good. We can choose ignorance or awareness. We can close our eyes to the truth, or we can seek understanding, even when it is uncomfortable. Awareness is the first step toward meaningful change. We can choose to be sheep or to be shepherds. Will we follow blindly, or will we lead with compassion and wisdom? The world needs more shepherds, people who guide, protect, and uplift others. The path ahead may be uncertain. There will be moments of doubt, and times when the way forward is shrouded in fog. But uncertainty is not a reason to stand still. It is a call to move forward with courage and faith. But one thing is clear, the choices we make today will determine the world we inherit tomorrow. Our actions ripple outward, shaping the lives of those who come after us. Let us choose wisely, for the sake of our children and our communities. Be vigilant, be informed, be prepared. Take responsibility for your knowledge and your actions. Stay ready to respond to whatever challenges may arise. The time to choose is now. The future is waiting for your decision. What will you do with the power you hold in your hands?